Arman, you've been working towards this championship fight for a long time. Did you kind of have an idea of what it would look like when you got there, who you'd be facing, where it would be? Did you think about things like that?
When I got UFC, I didn't think about the UFC belt and everything. I just wanted to get in top 15. But like after my first win, I wanted to be a champion, and I started like thinking about championship. And when Islam got the belt, I said I want to fight with Islam for the belt. So it's a rematch and fight for the belt.
So during this time, have you kind of, in a way, been hoping that Islam would continue to win so that you could come full circle and fight him in the championship?
Yeah, he's the best in our division, and I think just me who can beat him right now. And so this is the best that Islam is champ still here.
When you came into the UFC, tell that story. Tell how you came into the UFC, what the opportunity was, and what did you know about the guy that you were going to fight in your first UFC debut?
So when I fought last time in Russia, it wasn't UFC. So my manager told me like you're gonna get in UFC soon, and he called me before 3 weeks. You got the fight in UFC, and I said okay, I signed the contract. And he asked me like, "It's Islam Makhachev." I said okay, it's way better, and I was super excited because I was super young, 22 years old, and I wanted to win so much that fight. And yeah, well, I mean, this is the biggest dream in my life. I mean, just when I was young, UFC was like super big for me, and I thought it's like impossible to get there even. But when I get there and when I started to fight, and I understood I'm like a guy who can be a champ here.
What is some of your earlier memories? Like when you felt that the UFC was impossible to get there, like how young were you? Were you like watching at home? Were you watching at a restaurant or something? Where were you? Describe who you were and why did it feel so far away?
So when I was 19 years old, I already had like 3-4 fights, and I just I told him like I just want to get UFC, get on my Instagram verification and the uniform from UFC, and that's it. I don't want anything from this sport. But then I started keep winning the fights, and people started like tell me you're like a good fighter, and you can get in UFC. Even my manager even told me so, and I started believe myself and train hard and keep winning fights, and I got in UFC. So
when you got that fight against Islam, how much did you know about him?
I knew him very well because he's Habib's cousin, and he had like 5 or 6 fights in UFC, and I always watch his fights and Habib's fights. So, and when I heard it's Islam, I already knew he's a southpaw, good wrestler, sambo, and so I was more excited because everybody in Russia knows him. It's a good fight for me. So when I beat him, like people are gonna talk about me.
How confident were you that you were gonna go in there and beat him in your first UFC fight?
I'm like always confident on myself. So I thought I'm gonna win 100% that fight because I'm a good wrestler. I'm a good striker, but like I didn't have good experience that moment, and like good time, you know. I didn't have enough time to get ready for that fight, so I got like about 3 weeks before fight. But it's not excuses. Just I should be better at that fight.
Yeah. What do you think would have been different if you had gotten 6, 8 weeks to prepare? Like what? No excuses, but what was different because you only got 3 weeks?
Just do more sparring. So with the southpaw guys, because mostly in our gyms, and I mostly fight with orthodox fighters. It's kind of different, and you gotta find bring someone who can wrestle and strike. It's a little bit difficult. So,
yeah.
But the most important thing is a sparring with like a same guy like you fighting.
Mm-hmm. When you think about the fight itself, what stands out to you about those 15 minutes, the first fight with Islam? What stands out to you?
He's not that good like people think.
Do you want to expand on that? Do you want to tell me what you mean by that?
No, I mean like people like think he's unbeatable and like crazy wrestler, but like I took him down when I was 22 years old. So.
Do you remember being surprised by that? Like in the moment where you're like, oh, this guy's not as good as they say he is? Like, did you have that feeling in the fight itself?
Yeah, I had that feeling, and that's why I was trying, like, in the third round, like, to try to take him down and waste my energy. So I shouldn't do that.
I think, this is me personally, I think like energy is going to be big in this fight. Like just, first of all, obviously just being in great shape, but also just how you manage it. Do you agree with me on that? Like, because I just feel like because you guys are both such outstanding wrestling, that you kind of have to pick and choose where you're going to use your energy. Does that make sense? Am I right on that?
I mean, now we're in different levels, so we know how to strike and how to wrestle, and during the fight we gotta find our keys and just do what we do the best. So I'm gonna try like do everything on that fight.
I mean, Khabib is pretty big on game plans, you know, and he comes with a very specific game plan. What do you think their game plan is going to be for you in this fight?
I think when like game plan, when you got like hard punch, you forgot about game plan. So if I heard him very well, he's gonna forget about game plan. So it makes sense. Same as me when like lost my fight. Oliveira choked me, trying to choke me, and like after that moment, my game plan was gone. So I didn't remember what was my game plan even. So that's why I gotta hurt him very hard in the first round, and then it doesn't matter what game plan they have.
One thing about him that I think a lot of people on the outside say this, and they say this about his whole camp. They said about Khabib, Islam, Umar, Usman, is that this is all they do. Like they just live this all the time. Like they wake up, they do this. It doesn't matter if they're in camp, out of camp, like it's just what they do. I've seen you in one of your videos say that you have little sins, is what you said, and that sometimes you do take like, I don't want to say breaks, but like, do you feel like you have to overcome that? Like, what do you make of that? That's what makes these guys so hard, is that they don't do anything else. Like they live this. Is that a challenge in this fight? Is that you're going to have to overcome?
Yeah, of course. They just grew up with MMA. They think about MMA and their opportunity to make money from MMA, and they just give themselves like just training and MMA. I think they don't think about different things. Yeah. I'm a little bit different. I'm doing this for fun.
Yeah, and so if the fight turns into like a dog fight, and it's, you know, you both are digging deep and you're doing it for fun and he's doing it because this is what he's dedicated his life to, is that an advantage for him?
No, for me it's better because I'm doing this for fun and I don't have pressure on me. I'm just doing for my favorite things, what I like to do. Yeah. And yeah, but he has a title, he has a big team, he has a lot of people who helps him. So, but me, I'm a little bit different. If like never know, but like if I lose, nobody gonna tell me anything, you know. Yeah. But he's gonna lose everything.
Not to bring up things that you kind of got in trouble for, but I really want to ask you what your mindset is when you walk to the octagon, because last time you walked to the octagon, you got in a fight with a random person
and lose money
and lost, and you got fined for it. But I'm more interested in, like, is that you anywhere? Like if someone crosses you and you throw a punch at him, or is it just because like you were walking to the octagon to get into a fight that night? Like is there like a mental switch? Like were you in a different mode when you're walking there?
Yeah, I mean I grew up in Russia, and so I'm getting mad very fast, and like I don't know why, it's maybe genetic or I don't know. So, and that's why I'm walking with someone else, because I can get trouble when I'm alone. Yeah, but I try to control myself. Yeah, because for fighting especially, you gotta be calm and like you gotta control yourself. Yeah. So yeah, but sometimes happen. The bad guys sometimes is coming.
Do you feel like Islam is the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world? Obviously, you said he's the best in your division right now. Is he #1 pound for pound?
My opinion, he's number 2 pound for pound because number 1 is John Jones, for me personal. So, and he's number 2. But for sure in 155, yeah, he's pound for pound.
Do you care about that? Like if you go out and beat him, you expect to be number 1 pound for pound the next day? Like do you care about any of that?
No, I don't care about it. I just care about the title.
Yeah.
No money, nothing, no hype, no followers, just title. This is what I want to get, and yeah, this is not my goal. And I wake up, think about title. When to go to sleep, think about title. So
That's going to change though. You win this fight, you're going to have a lot of. It comes with like fame. What do you feel? How do you feel about that? Like the fame. I know you're kind of training in the mountains of Russia. You're kind of a private guy. It seems like. Like, are you ready for everything that comes with the championship?
yeah, I'm ready for everything, especially. I just to be honest, I need the title. I don't want to have, like, I don't want to be like super popular or something, or like have a lot of money right now. Right now it's my goal to get title, and after title I'm gonna think about money because it's gonna be business. Right now for me it's a sport, so I want to get there, and when I get there, I just gonna think about money and all that stuff.
You have a plan for the actual belt itself? Like you win the title, you know where it's going to go? Like does that have meaning to you?
Yeah, of course. Where I was born, first place I want to go there, and then it's Georgia. I was born there. From Georgia, I want to go to Armenia. From Armenia, it's go to Russia. But we'll see. My home is in Russia. I don't know about where I'm going to go to first with the title, but like plan is just get it and go to Glendale first. Have some good Armenian food with my people. So, and people from California are so excited. Like everybody talks about the fight. So, and like my parents give this guy tickets. Like everybody like looking for the tickets right now.
I guess last thing I would ask you is why are you the guy? You said you're the only guy in the division that can beat him. I think there are a lot of people who agree with you. Why are you the only guy who can beat Islam Makhachev?
First of all, I know how to wrestle very well. Second, I'm young. I'm young and hungry, so I never had a belt, so it drives me very well, and I have a lot of energy for the trainings, and I believe myself. I'm the guy who is gonna beat him. So yeah, the most important thing, I'm super hungry. You know, I want to get the belt so much, and it's like kind of dream. When I get in UFC, I just started to think about that. I've been thinking about that 5 years. So.
Yeah, well, I love it. I love it that he's the first guy that you ever fought, and I mean, it's kind of like felt inevitable for years now. So, we'll see you at UFC 311, man. Thank you for flying all the way over here and sitting down with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.